This week on Sports Paws, women's ice hockey starts off ECAC play against Brown and in-state rival Yale.
And women's soccer completed senior day in emphatic fashion with one of the largest wins in program history.
And women's soccer beat reporter Nick Boyd lays out the MAAC playoffs for women's soccer.
All this and more coming up on Sports Paws right now.
Hello everybody and welcome to Sports Paws. I'm Zach Stokinger and alongside me is Ben Kame. We have a lot of news for you guys tonight, so let's get right into them.
Yeah, thanks Zach. You said it, there was some major breaking news out of the MAAC today. The league announced this morning that both Merrimack College and Sacred Heart University will leave the NEC and become full members of the MAAC effective on July 1st, 2024. The expansion will bring the MAAC to 13 teams, the largest the conference has ever been. It's the biggest realignment shakeup for the conference since Monmouth left for the CAA and Mount St. Mary's joined the MAAC in 2022.
Now let's move to the M&T Bank Arena for some ice hockey. The women's ice hockey team started ECAC play on Friday night against Brown. The game was a silent affair for over 45 minutes until both Maddie Samuskevich and Julia Nearest assisted Nina Steigoff, who put it home for the Bobcats with the lead. With 13 minutes left in the third, the teams would trade penalties until the final horn as the Bobcats held on to win 1-0. This victory moves Logan Andres into fourth place all-time in program history for shutouts. Now the team was back on the ice Saturday to take on number 5 ranked Yale. Let's take a look. Quinnipiac goes up against Yale in the Battle of Whitney Ave. Let's get into the first period where the Bobcats start off hot with Emerson Jarvis putting one back in the back of the net, ripping it from the high slot. Bobcats up 1-0 early. Then 28 seconds later, Kaylin LaMarche gets her first collegiate goal. Huge congrats to her as she puts the Bobcats up 2-0. Then we are not done yet as Kendall Cooper shoots, but it bounces off the wall and Maya Labad rebounds it, smacking that one into the net, making it 3-0 Quinnipiac. And Sadie Peart gets the pass from LaMarche and she shoots it into the back of the net. Bobcats up 4-0 in the period. And we see, look at that, that's an amazing shot right there.
Yeah, quick skating from Sadie Peart to get through as well on goal, putting the Bobcats up.
Now we head into the second period where the Bulldogs get their chance on offense as Karina Dini Antonio gets the first goal for the Bulldogs. Next, Jordan Ray misses a pass from Angiana Trumper, but she gets it back from the wall and gets the puck in the back of the net. It's 4-2 Bobcats. Then in the second period, the Bulldogs try to keep their offense going, but they are stopped right here by Logan Andres. What a great save, keeping it 4-2 at the end of the second. Now in the third, Yale keeps up their momentum as Stephanie Stainton gets a goal for the Bulldogs. You see it right here, and what a shot. This would be another first player getting their NCAA goal in this game. Now, Bulldogs try to make another move, but Andres denies it here. What a great save by her. The Bobcats would eventually find their offensive stride again as we see Emerson Jarvis and Nina Steigoff both get empty net goals to ice the game. It will be 6-3 Bobcats in this game. They will hit the road as they take on the Clarkson Golden Knights and the St. Lawrence Saints to continue ECAC play. Now you might have noticed the pink on the team skates. Anthony Rossi has more on the team's breast cancer awareness efforts.
With breast cancer being one of the leading causes of death in the U.S. today, the Quinnipiac women's soccer and Quinnipiac women's ice hockey teams had their Bobcat versus Breast Cancer Day on Saturday. The Quinnipiac women's ice hockey team showed their support by wearing pink sock tape and pink laces in their games against Brown and Yale this weekend.
Yeah, it's been a really, special unification of our sports teams. I know for our soccer team, when they talked about doing this for their trainer, for Liv, I think everyone jumped on board and said, how can we help? What can we do? And I think the awareness that has been created about breast cancer from this has been amazing. So, I think it was something that really mattered to our team and was very special to them.
Like Coach Turner mentioned, Olivia King is the Associate Athletic Trainer for the Quinnipiac women's soccer team, who joined with the team in February of 2023 and is diagnosed with breast cancer. This was one of the main initiatives for the Quinnipiac women's ice hockey team moving into their weekend. But for one specific player, Kendall Cooper, this means a lot more to her on a personal level.
Yeah, it means a lot to me. Both my grandmothers and my mom have battled and won against breast cancer. So, to see the people that are closest to you be affected by a disease that so many of us are, it kind of makes you grateful for life. And so being able to play for, people like that, and especially Olivia, who is the AT for soccer, it's just really cool. And I think it was great to see the support from everyone today.
For more information and to donate to the cause, there's a QR code that you can scan on the Quinnipiac Women's Soccer X account. Reporting outside M&T Bank Arena, I'm Anthony Rossi, Q30 Sports.
Is now 8-0 after this big weekend. Let's take a look at the UCHO poll here. The poll this week has little movement as we see Minnesota Duluth stay at number 8. Yale's fall 2 spots to 7 after their loss to Quinnipiac. Clarkson jumps up 1 to the number 6 spot. Quinnipiac also moves up 1 spot to number 5, while the top 4 of Wisconsin, Ohio State, Colgate, and Minnesota remain put, with Wisconsin receiving all the first place votes.
Now, with the women's team in Hamden this weekend, the men's team took to the road for another 2-game weekend. Brandon Petnell's squad won Game 1 in emphatic fashion, defeating UNH 5-2. Bobcats headed into third period down 2-1 and tallied an impressive 4 unanswered goals to see off the Wildcats. 5 different scorers helped Quinnipiac in their efforts to move to 3-1 on the season, with Graff, Quillen, Traylor, and Marsalis, and Pennington as well, all pitching in for the Bobcats in Durham. Now, did you walk away Friday night wanting more hockey? If so, you were in luck as the Bobcats stayed in New Hampshire for Game 2 against the Wildcats. Now, same team, same venue, but a different result for the Bobcats on Saturday night, losing in a close 5-4 contest. Like the first game, the Bobcats scored 4 unanswered goals in 1 period, but UNH had over 40 minutes of hockey to respond, pulling the game even in the third period before an overtime winner from Cy LeClaire sent the Bobcats home wanting more. The national champions moved to 3-2 on the season, marking their worst start to a year through 5 games since the 2020-2021 season. Now, after a series split with UNH, where did the men's ice hockey team rank in this week's USCHO polls? Well, I'm here to tell you that the polls are out and the men's ice hockey team have dropped back down to number 5 in the nation. Receiving no first place votes this week, Quinnipiac are the only team in the top 5 to have dropped 2 games so far this year. The top 3 teams remain the same, with Minnesota sitting on top of the men's ice hockey throne following a weekend series split with number 4 ranked North Dakota. Denver and Boston College fall in behind the Gophers, with Providence the only other team to receive a first place vote, with the Friars sitting in 7th. Now, although the Bobcats fell in the polls, a couple rose to the top of this week's ECAC honors. Jacob Quillen earned his 2nd straight ECAC Hockey Forward of the Week honor after a 3-point weekend against UNH, highlighted by a goal and an assist in the Bobcats' 5-2 victory. First year Andon Sorbonne was also named ECAC Hockey Rookie of the Week. Like Quillen, Sorbonne also had a 3-point performance against UNH, marking the occasion with his first collegiate goal in the Bobcats' Saturday night loss to the Wildcats. Now, let's keep the hockey theme going, but head to the turf, where the field hockey team still had a lot to play for in the Big East this weekend. Now, after getting back to their winning ways in an out-of-conference matchup against Hofstra just 5 days before, Nita Klein's squad was routed by Old Dominion 8-0 on the road. Holding the Big Blue to a close 1-0 contest, after 1 quarter, the Bobcats slowly lost control of the game, conceding 3 goals in the second period. It was the worst blowout by the team has suffered since the 2020 season, when they lost the game 8-0 to UConn. Now, with Big East redemption on the mind, the field hockey team entered Sunday's contest looking to bounce back. Roll the highlights. Now, the Lafayette Leopards coming into Hamden looking to play spoiler on senior day for those 8 upperclassmen being celebrated, but the Bobcats, they're looking to bounce back after that 8-0 loss. We're going to start in the first period. The Bobcats were tested early with 3 penalty corners by Lafayette in the first 10 minutes. But you're going to see right here, junior forward Lucia Pompeo fires one right across to Cameron Brower, assisting her in her first goal of the season. And this gives Quinnipiac the 1-0 lead. Now, there's going to be a big theme of this game coming in, and that's going to be Christina Torres. Third quarter, it's a penalty corner here. Big sprawling save there. Athletic save from Christina Torres, showing off some skills. And here it comes again. Another point-blank save from Christina Torres, keeping the Bobcats up 1 goal in this effort. We're going to keep moving into the 4th corner. Another penalty corner, but another Christina Torres save. Sprawling, she's on the ground already, and she still sticks her stick out to make that save. and the Bobcats going to keep up 1-0, but it's actually going to be a penalty stroke with Lafayette converting this one, capitalizing on the opportunity, forcing overtime. Now here come the Leopards. There's a one player down for each team. The Leopards looking to sprawl their legs out. 2v1 situation here, but who's going to be there? It's Christina Torres making another save. But in this game, the call is actually going to be turned into a penalty corner, and this is going to give the Leopards a good opportunity here, and they're going to convert on this one. The team will now look to secure a chance at a spot in the Big East tournament on Friday versus Temple at 3 p.m. Now, Zach, we're going to have to take a break here on Sports Paws, but when we come back, we'll have the women's soccer team. They're going to have another dominant week. We'll break down both of their games and take a look at the playoff picture this week.
And after some football, how about we have some rugby as well? We'll see how the rugby team did in their matchup against AIC this weekend. All this and more when we come back.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things.
Come on, Jules, spot on this last one. There it is. Keep going with it. Leo.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
And welcome back to Sports Paws. The women's soccer team traveled down to Maryland to take on the Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers, looking to stay hot. Quinnipiac got the win 1-0 to improve to 8-0 in MAAC play, but Ben, this was really a strange win as the only goal came in the 5th minute on a Mountaineers' own goal. Sofia Lospinoso had 3 saves and the Bobcats defense locked in to secure the shutout through the full 90. That pushed the team's win streak to 7, and it was their 6th shutout of the season. Now, after the win, they celebrated a big accomplishment. The Bobcats were crowned MAAC regular season champions, clinching the 1 seed in the conference tournament. This is their 2nd straight MAAC regular season title. They went on 9-1 in conference last year and on the way to a dominant MAAC championship run. This year, the team is looking to go undefeated in MAAC play for the first time in program history. The last team to go 10-0 in the MAAC were the 2019 Monmouth Hawks. They will begin postseason play on November 2nd in the MAAC semifinal round. Moving forward, the team took on St. Peter's on Saturday for their senior day. Roll the tape! On Saturday afternoon, the Quinnipiac Bobcats hosted the St. Peter's Peacocks, celebrating their team's senior day as well, being the breast cancer awareness game, honoring athletic trainer Liv King of the Pink Sauce. Will drop you off in the first half as the Bobcats struck early on a corner kick as Lily Schneiders headed the ball into the back of the net. Schneider, you can see here, is fired up with her teammates. Later on in that first half, it's good. And here we go. Later on in the first half, Courtney Chokel makes a nice move down with a pass, finding open to Emily Vandervliet, who scores her first on the day. Now it's 2-0 Bobcats. Ben, you can see they're already so hyped. Now, inside of the final minute, Melina Bronco finds a streak into Anna Carlos as she disses it over to Evelyn Key, who finds it in the back of the net. 3-0 Bobcats heading into the half. Now, second half, on action underway, and a deep ball into the box is headed to goal by Olivia Cuderico. But it's Bobcats' leading scorer, Courtney Chokel, who taps it in for a 4-0 lead. Now we see right here, Madison Alves. She fights to keep the ball in as Anna Carlos, who quickly gets it to Emily Vandervliet, who buries it again for her second of the game. You can see how much it means to her. Now, in the final minute, Rose Lockery's penalty attempt is saved, but Anna Costello fights to keep the ball in. He puts it over to Vandervliet, who places it in for her hat-trick goal, making the game 8-0. The Bobcats would complete the game, winning 8-0. Despite the score, it was a strong game for the goalkeeper of St. Peter's, Annabelle Adams, who had 12 saves, but ultimately 12 different Bobcats had points in this game. The Bobcats will end the regular season on Wednesday at Manhattan.
Now, Zach, while 12 goals in 1 week is nice, a goalkeeper is also being honored in this week's MAAC Awards. Senior goalkeeper Sofia Lo-Spinoso picked up her 4th MAAC Defensive Player of the Week award following 2 consecutive shutouts. The New Jersey native, tallied her first shutout of the weekend in a 1-0 win over Mount St. Mary's in a 2-save performance. With first place in the MAAC standings already clinched, Lo-Spinoso celebrated her senior day in style, recording 3 saves in the Bobcats' emphatic 8-0 victory over St. Peter's. Now the team is 9-0, and with the MAAC tournament right around the corner, Nick Boyd has more on the playoff picture.
Thanks, Zach and Ben. As you just heard, the Quinnipiac women's soccer team are your regular season MAAC champions. That means that they have clinched the 1 seed in the upcoming MAAC tournament. And we'll take a look at the MAAC standings to give you a look at where the rest of the conference is kind of shaking out as the season comes to a close. Obviously, Quinnipiac up top at 9-0. Fairfield in 2nd, Canisius in 3rd. These 2 teams have clinched playoff spots already. They're just battling for seeding right now. After that, we got Niagara in 4th. Ryder and Mount St. Mary's both with the same record. Ryder does have the better head-to-head, so they are in 5th. The Mount is in 6th, and down here, Manhattan is in 7th. They're still in it. They have a chance to make the MAAC playoffs, but they have a hefty task. Quinnipiac is their opponent on Wednesday, so they have a big task ahead of them. And the bottom 4 here, Siena, Marist, St. Peter's, and Iona, all of them have been eliminated. Moving on to Wednesday's slate of games, that's a big set. There are still a lot of playoff spots up for grabs here. These are the 4 games that you look up here. Niagara taking on Canisius. The first time these 2 teams have played this season. The Canisius, if they win this game, can lock down a top 3 spot if they win or tie. Now, Canisius can also jump up to 2nd in the MAAC, depending on this game. If Fairfield loses to St. Peter's, Canisius can vault them with a win or a draw for that 2nd spot in the conference. Meanwhile, in terms of what Niagara can do, if Niagara beats Canisius here, they can vault Canisius and get into 3rd in the conference. Moving over to the Mount St. Mary's Ryder game, these 2 teams, again, as you just saw, tied for 5th and 6th. The Mount can clinch a playoff spot with a win or a draw and a Manhattan loss. If Manhattan loses this game, they are in. They are safe. They can jump as high as 4 if they win, and Canisius takes down Niagara up in Buffalo. Ryder, on the other hand, they can clinch a playoff spot with a win or a draw and a Manhattan loss. They don't have to win this game to stay in the playoff picture, and they control their own destiny a lot more than Mount St. Mary's does. If all 4 of these teams, these 2 games, end in ties, then things will stay the same, and as long as Manhattan loses, they're going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, no problems there. Quinnipiac and Manhattan, obviously, Quinnipiac looking to go 10-0. Over here, you'll see the tentative playoff picture. If the season ended today, obviously still some seeding to be figured out. However, the format as it would be, the first round will take place on October 29th in the first round. Those 2 will be hosted not in Hamden. The semifinals will be in Hamden. That'll be Quinnipiac against the lowest seed remaining, and Fairfield to take on the highest seed remaining. And then the championship game on November 6th to determine who the MAAC champions are going to be. Quinnipiac looking to repeat after winning the conference last year. That's all I've got, guys. We'll send it back to the desk.
Now, with a playoff berth still in sight for last season's MAAC champions, the men's soccer team welcomed Mount St. Mary's to Hamden on Wednesday. Now the Bobcats, they're going to look to continue their search for the first conference win of their season as they head into October. Brog Austin leading both teams out. We'll take it right to the first half, and it's Austin, who we just talked about, falls over a little bit, but miscommunication from the defense, and Alex Miller tucks one home 7 minutes into the game, but you see that celebration right there, showing just how much it means to the Bobcats to get that goal. Now it's Austin once again fizzing in a free kick. Great save there from Mount St. Mary's. Austin putting on a show here, slipping through Miller and Kangman. Miscommunication, it goes wide, but it's Kangman again. Round the keeper, hits the side netting. Now we're gonna see Monmouth. They're gonna slowly find their footing into this game. A nice comfortable save there from Carl Netzel. But here we go, the final minute of the first half. One-on-one with Carl Netzel and Raimundo Partido puts it home. It's even in this game as we head into the second half, and the Bobcats, they're gonna need a goal to get back into this game. Now the start of the second half, St. Mary's continuing where they ended off, but Sonsterud right off the line clears one, and here we go. A consistent theme in the second half. Shots over the top. You see one right there from Bragos, and now here comes Mount St. Mary's. That one flies way over the top of the goal. Continuing with Mount St. Mary's, pretty wide open shot. Gets his foot a little too under it. Now here come the Bobcats. Austin over the top as well. Now we're going to see TJ Wilder looking for Tomas Vekula, actually going to pinball off. And another opportunity for Austin there. It doesn't go in, and the Bobcats, they're going to pick up a point in this one, but 1 point was not good enough to move the Bobcats up the standings. So Eric DeCosta's men headed to New Jersey with 3 points on their minds. And the men's soccer team battled to a 2-2 draw with the Peacock to keep their 2-game unbeaten streak alive. The back-and-forth contest saw Francisco Ferreira put the Bobcats up less than 15 minutes into the second half. Graduate student Tomas Vekula tallied his second goal of the season to give QU the lead before St. Peter's equalized in the 64th minute. With the result, the Bobcats sit outside of the playoff position, but still have 3 games remaining on their schedule.
Moving to rugby, the Bobcats took on AIC at home for their senior day game. Let's see how they did. On Saturday, the Quinnipiac Bobcats rugby team took on the AIC Yellow Jackets in Handon for their senior day. Now right here is senior Anna Van Dyke walking with her parents and grandparents. You can just tell how much this community means to her and her family. Now let's go to the first half here. There it is. It's the first half. And we see Kat Story return for the try. Look at her go all the way. It's a storybook start for this team, Ben.
I like the way she looks at the opponents too. Knows she's past them.
Right here, sorry to cut you off, Ben, but it's Sarah Doyle getting tackled by Van Dyke for Van Dyke's 100th career tackle in college. Now we see Haley Crow hand it off to Lucy Lamborn, who records a try, and then we see Fondala Niebernin convert it for the 31-0. Now in the second half here, we see McKenna Truman record her first collegiate try. Look at her go. Look at the team around her. You could just see the excitement for her. This team, Ben, this means so much to her and the team, as you can see. Now, in the second half, we have Kat Story again looking to record her 3rd try of the game. She might go all the way. Look at that. There is nobody in sight. And then, look at that. She is so triumphant. And Anna Van Dyke puts a symbolic touch on this Quinnipiac victory as she scores her final try with the team. The Bobcats extend their winning streak to 3 games, and they look to go to Maryland to face Mount St. Mary's on Saturday. All right, now we have been talking about all things Quinnipiac sports, but we have to take a break. But don't go anywhere. Volleyball went up way north to take on Canisius and Niagara as a big week as the regular season comes down to the stretch.
Now, Zach, of course, the best time of the night, top 5 plays. I can't imagine what's in there this week, but you see it right there. We'll be back after this.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color-coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
I know what you're thinking.
I need a job.
I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing.
After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working.
I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this.
You will find something.
You will find something new.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
Welcome back, and thanks for not closing your browser. Now the volleyball team headed up north this weekend for their first matchup against Niagara. Winning their first matchup on September 16th, the Bobcats split the series with the Purple Eagles losing 3-0 on Saturday afternoon. After a dominant first set effort by Niagara, Quinnipiac fell narrowly 22-25 in the second before ultimately dropping the match in 3 sets. The defeat was just the Bobcats' third of the season, however, all of them have come on the road so far. Now the Bobcats hope to shake off the road blues as Quinnipiac headed to Canisius to just 1 day later. Now, as Taylor Swift would say, they indeed shook it off, earning their first road win since October 1st with a 3-0 victory over the Golden Griffiths. Dom Ganesh led the way for the Bobcats with 18 kills, while Ariana Diaz's 7 tallies moved her just 50 kills away from becoming the second athlete in program history to hit the 1,000 kill landmark. The win moves last year's MAAC champions to 10 conference wins on the season, and the Bobcats sit second in the conference with 6 games remaining on the year. Now, Saturday's victory also marked a special milestone for head coach Kyle Robinson. Quinnipiac's head coach earned his 200th career victory as a Division I head coach over the weekend. In the midst of his 5th season in Hamden, Robinson has collected 74 wins since joining the Bobcats for the 2019 season. Robinson was previously the head coach at LIU Brooklyn and spent 7 seasons at the helm, where he led the program to 5 NCAA tournament appearances and was named the Northeast Conference Coach of the Year in, wait for it, the years 2011, 2012, 2013, and 2014, becoming the only coach in NEC history to win the award 4 times. Between LIU and Quinnipiac, he was an assistant coach at the University of Oklahoma.
Now staying in the gym, both men's and women's basketball received some preseason accolades. Now we see here for the men, graduate student guard Matt Blanc earns his 2nd consecutive preseason All-MAAC first team honors, while senior forward Paul Otio was named to the 2nd team. Blanc chipped in with 12 points per game last season, while Otino's 6.8 rebounds per game was a team high. For the women's side, junior guard Jackie Grisdale earned her first preseason recognition, being selected to the 2nd team after averaging a career-high 9.9 points per game. But Grisdale didn't receive all MAAC honors this week. She also got a major team honor as well. Jackie Grisdale was named the first singular captain in the women's basketball Division I history on Wednesday. The junior guard had quite a journey to becoming a team captain, as Grisdale was a walk-on player her first year at Quinnipiac and earned a scholarship at the end of that year. As we just mentioned, she posted career highs as an everyday starter last year as a sophomore.
Now, Zach, well, tell me if I'm wrong here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Ben, you forgot 5. You got to forget the number 5.
How could I forget 5 when it's time for top 5 place? You know, we're going to start off with that number I forgot and head to rugby. In their 80-0 victory, here comes Anna Van Dyke in her 100th career tackle.
Now, Ben, number 4, we see Kendall Cooper hit the puck over the net and the wall, but Maya Labai rebounds the puck and it gets it in. She helped Quinnipiac win 6-3 in the Battle of Whitney Ave.
Now we're going to head down the field. A Rose Lockery's penalty kick. She's here, stutter step. It's going to be saved, but it's still loose in the box. Finding Emily Vandervliet, puts it home, her career first hat trick.
Now traveling to the ice, Quinnipiac is down 3-2 in the first period, and it will be Sam Licken who whips it right down the middle of the net and has tied the game up in the first.
Now, Zach, I think we're going to stick with men's ice hockey for this number one. You might have seen it on SportsCenter, a spin from Mason Marcellus, and he finds the back of the net, putting the Bobcats up in the third period.
Thank you so much for watching Sports Paws. To continue to stay up to date with all things Quinnipiac sports, be sure to follow Q30 Sports and Q30 Television on social media.
For the producers and everyone working oh so diligently behind the scenes, he's been Zach Stokinger, I've been Ben Kane, and this has been Sports Paws. Sweet dreams, Bobcats.